Welcome to Tales and Facts by Winnie. Today, we are going to hear a story that might remind you of someone who loves you unconditionally. This is a story about a mother and her son. A story not of big events, but of small moments that shape a life. This is a story about a boy who was not a topper, not a star, just a boy who always sat at the last bench in his class. His name was Aarav. He wasn't the loudest, he wasn't the fastest, and he wasn't the brightest. At least, that's what the world said. You see, Aarav had a hard time remembering lessons. He struggled with spelling. He couldn't recite long poems. And while other kids raised their hands to answer questions, he was busy staring outside the window, lost in his own little world. The teachers, they called him distracted. His classmates, they whispered behind his back, "Slow boy." But there was one person who never saw him as slow. That was his mother. While teachers told her, "Your son just isn't good enough," she would smile and say, "Maybe he learns differently, or maybe he's just not meant to fit inside boxes." While others forced their kids into tuition after tuition, Aarav sat under a mango tree with his mother, listening to stories that motivated him differently, saying that he is not the last bench boy. All people who failed in school but changed the world outside itself. His mother always said, "You are not your marks. You are a mind, a heart, a spark." And sometimes sparks take time to catch fire. And you know what? She was right. At age 14, Aarav found that their TV was not working. And somehow, by just watching videos and experimenting, he repaired the TV. No certificate, no competition. But his mother clapped like he had invented the TV itself. That moment, it changed something in Aarav. Years passed. Aarav didn't become a topper. He didn't get into IIT, but he kept building. He launched a small tech startup, not flashy, but meaningful. It helped rural families with basic devices. And then he was invited to give a TED talk to motivate people. On that big stage, surrounded by people in suits and ties, Aarav looked into the crowd and began with this line, "I was a last bench boy, but my mother sat beside me on that bench every single day. And this is how my mother taught me more than my school could ever." After the speech, everyone clapped. People came up to him for photos, interviews, and to congratulate. But Aarav, he walked past them all, straight to one corner of the room where his mother stood with tears in her eyes, pride in her smile. He hugged her and whispered, "You were right, Ma. I was never slow. I just had a different speed." And she replied, "I always knew that. I just needed you to know it too." And that's the story. Aarav wasn't successful in spite of being a last bencher. He was successful because someone believed in him when the world didn't. Moral of the story is that not all brilliance fits in a report card. Not every child learns at the same pace. But with a mother's belief, even the quietest child can roar one day. To all the mothers out there who sit with their children on the last bench, this story is yours. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos.